Alright, this video is on law enforcement. Peace to the gods and goddesses. Everybody tuning in right now, watching this video. Press the like button if you'd be so kind. Because what I'm about to speak about, I'm not going to bite my tongue or hold back at all. Where do we start? Excuse me, I'm going to need a cigarette for this disclaimer. Another disclaimer. Might not be able to help myself not using some profanity, so if you have kids and you don't want them to hear any profanity, I'm giving you a disclaimer now. Law enforcement. Y'all still think that cops serve and protect? We the people serve and protect. You know, when you do a good deed for somebody, when you stop harm from being done, when you save somebody, it's not something you speak about or get an award for. A lot of us put ourselves in more danger than the police ever will. We serve and protect. Don't get it fucked up. Because I don't know about the rest of America, but here in New York, Rodney King did not faze us. We've been beaten, battered. A lot of us, I've seen people die in cold blood. It's never been a race thing here. And I want all of you to understand that the media, that TV, is trying to create a race war. That media is trying to have us fighting amongst each other to make it easier to enforce laws behind our back while we're distracted and make it easier on the cops. So, what do the cops do then? What laws do the cops carry out? Understand that our laws are made in the United Nations and in the Pentagon. Made by rich, white elite reptilians. Do any of you know about Aleister Crowley? Thelema? You ever seen? Go look up Aleister Crowley, the Book of Law. Let me show you something. Where is it? Have patience, y'all. Have patience. I'm looking for it. can't find it. Look up Aleister Crowley, the Star of Thelema. That is the badge given to police officers. It's a 7-point star that represents Babylon. Now, a lot of these symbols were stolen from Atlantis and Egypt, and symbols that had meanings of love and unity had been reversed. And I don't need to explain some of those symbols, but one is right in front of your face. On every police officer you see the 7-point star with the 2 horns, the 2 points on top, the Star of Babylon. The police serve and protect the elites. The police do not serve and protect us. Do you know who's in charge of the missing persons hotline? Laura Silsby. She trafficked children in Haiti, and Hillary Clinton bailed her out, made her the president, the main person in charge of the missing persons hotline. These police will beat and batter somebody over a traffic infraction. Where I'm from, I see all over the internet audits, and it blows my mind, because if anybody came to Nassau County or Suffolk County, Long Island, certain parts of Staten Island, certain parts of New York City, and tried to audit, oh my God. The way they can make these videos 3 hours long, you literally, if anybody has the balls to audit here, please be cautious, because I'm not lying when I tell you it doesn't matter how charming, patient, or smooth you talk, or how much law you know. They will kill you in cold blood and get away with it. My best friend, like a brother to me, was killed by police in cold blood. He never had a weapon on him, never posed a threat, and he was handcuffed, forced, like as a torture method, with no shirt on the curb, sitting down in 0 below weather. And the way they killed him was so rotten and foul that I wish he would have had it as easy as some of the others, and just had a bullet in his head and had it handed over quick. Now, I'm going to have to touch on a topic that, with guidelines, I cannot speak on. So, you already know about the shot. Remember when there was such thing as a flu shot? Yeah. I can't say any words that condone the new, it's not called the flu anymore, but we'll call it, the Wu. So Wu 19, Wu 19 hits, and the sick thing is, for years, people that have been recording the police in the middle of killing people, in the middle of severely beating people, it gets promoted. It gets promoted. I don't think y'all hear me. They're stealing content from people there seeing this eye to eye. And billionaire companies like MSNBC and Fox 5 and all these news stations, it gets that data from Google, puts it up, and they might give a backstory to make it seem like they care, but they don't. They give a backstory to promote and support what they're doing. If it was a disgrace, and if the world wanted to put an end to it, they would not be advertising it on these billionaire companies, especially when there's no justice for those who are violating these people, because they serve and protect the elite. Do you hear me yet? Do you hear me yet? If they were here to serve and protect us, don't you think there would be consequences? I've seen more murders in cold blood from people completely unarmed, completely unaware, like randomly getting out of their car with a cell phone, and within a split second getting shot. What's the excuse for that 14-year-old autistic boy? They push on the news, make it a race thing. But I assure you, born and raised here in New York, in the 5 boroughs, from Staten Island to Long Island, I've seen every part of New York, New York. Not upstate, that's different. Over here, the only people that get privilege are the upper class white families. And those that do disgusting things with children. I've seen people get ROR'd for violating children. And it boils my blood. I have 2 kids. And I can't look a judge in the eyes with any respect, knowing that they'll let a rapist, a child molester, they'll let them back home. But do I need to bring up some of the situations that people are serving football numbers just for defending themselves. Now look, it all comes down to a choice. And it's not a good choice. It's like you choose the lesser of the two evils. This really applies more to people that are bragging about how they spin the block and whip the pot, and how they bang this set, and people that live that lifestyle, bragging about how violent they are. They don't keep that energy when the police come. Yet, a lot of people that never been in a gang before, that don't claim to be tough, that don't claim to be gangster, know the Constitution and know the amendments. You have the right to bear arms, and you have the right to defend yourself with a firearm. When the police abuse their power, when the government gets too powerful, especially when they put your life in danger, when you're not a threat. So many people are so quick to put their hands behind their back out of ignorance, thinking they get some kind of status for going to the penitentiary. Right now, more than ever, we all need to take a stand. Because everybody who's auditing right now, not only are the police making a mockery of them, but the elites are making the mockery out of them, taking their videos for the world to see, without any justice being done to the police that are knocking out teeth, that are violating people. I mean, pulling down a grown man's pants, tasing their testicles. It's not funny. It's not funny. It might sound funny, but it's not funny. The way they'll spray a whole can of mace in somebody's face for no damn reason and beat the living fucking hell out of them. Some people don't survive that fight. Some people have to spend years getting face reconstruction surgeries. And the cops that did that to them never see a day in jail. Yet, if someone got fired from their job and they're living rough times and they get a bag of rice and try to steal a bag of rice from the store, a cop will kill them. Or they'll serve more time in jail than someone that just fondled a 13-year-old. And it makes me sick. It makes me sick that the world, that the people seem to just let it go. Seem to just not give a shit about this at all. Understand, the more you turn a blind eye, the more power you're giving them. The generation that raised us were fools. They told us to obey police. They told us to just relax and do whatever they say. So I wasted my faith and my trust. Stupid little kid. When they arrested me at the age of 9, and again at the age of 12, I was getting the shit beat out of me by my stepfather. I was never a threat. I don't even think I was 100 pounds yet. But I had the balls to stick up for myself, even though I knew I'd get my ass whooped. I couldn't look myself in the mirror anymore. When my nose is broken, both my eyes are black, and there's blood all over my face, all over my shirt, all over the floor, and I'm slipping on it, and I still have a concussion. The police come, and there's not a mark on the adult. I get arrested and put on probation at the age of 9 for menacing. Because that grown man that beat up a child lied and said that he thought I was holding a knife. Well, he said I was holding a knife. I wasn't. But I learned very quick. Actually, I didn't. I'm going to be honest with you. Time after time after time again. Because they starve you out. They beat the fuck out of you. By the time you go back to court, and I'm speaking on Suffolk County and Nassau County jails, they play a game where they don't medicate you. And people that take benzodiazepines or methadone, Suboxone, they play a game and they see, they have a game. Like if you watch Orange is the New Black, they play a game on who they could kill and place bets on how many days they think they'll last. A lot of people don't make it to trial. They die in the county jail. Sometimes they get killed in the county jail. And there's no consequences. The police have too much power. And I'm just being all the way honest. I know FBI looks at social media. I've been lied on so many times. And they starved me out. Beat me up. Every time I came to court and heard, well, if you plead guilty to this smaller charge, you'll be free. Even though I never broke the law. That's a lie. We all broke the law. And I take full responsibility for the crimes that I have committed. And I served my time, served my probation, and gave back to the community every way I could, as I continue to do so. My point is, that builds a record. So when you're starving and when you're just clinging on to life, you'll plead to a lesser charge. And it happens over and over and over and over again. happens to the elderly, happens to women, happens to all races. It's crazy the difference between Rikers Island and the jails in Suffolk County. The Rikers Island is actually safer because the inmates are not as fucked up as not the inmates. The correctional officers are nowhere near as fucked up as the correctional officers at Rikers Island. Number one. Number two, central bookings. Whether you're downtown Manhattan or in Queens, central bookings is so much more pleasant than Central Islip District Court. A lot of deaths go on there too. The police in New York City are and they are known to be the worst, but until you've really dealt with the worst, you wouldn't believe me when I say New York City police is such a relief